All right. First and foremost, we are gonna say all praises be to Yahweh
Yahweh
Ba'Shem,
Hashem, Yahushai,
Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem
Hashem
Mukar.
Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the sincere elect teaching the truth and faith and sincerity. Right, and you know, a quick point, you know, a quick show, you know, Lord, when it's edifying that us brothers, you know, want to speak on is the, you know, the topic of the downfall of Babylon the Great, man. And of course, as you know, Babylon the Great, according to the actual scriptures, you know what I mean, is America, man. But
Mm,
really, the point I wanted to focus on, us brothers wanted to focus on, is America is going to be the greatest ensample, right? Example of what happens when you indulge in wickedness. Like,
mm,
what happens when you push evil into the earth? Because evil and sin and wickedness like it's not permanent. You know, the scripture says the wages of sin is death.
yep.
So if you're actually like a nation that all you do and all you've done through your entertainment, through your media, through your you know, the doctrines, which is that wine that the Bible speaks of, if you've done nothing but push evil and wickedness into the earth, a great judgment has to take place. Which, in fact, you know what? Can we start with Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, Baba
Okay.
Gashar? You know, and then we're just going to go in the spirit, you know, because as well, um, when you look at Pompeii, right, the judgment that happened in Pompeii, what was interesting that is on one of those ancient walls of Pompeii, actual, so you know, actual Jew, which is, you know, I mean, an Israelite back then, inscribed Sodom and Gomorrah
Mm,
on one of them walls in Pompeii.
yep.
And Pompeii was known for his pride and, you know,
Okay.
into sex and all manner of lewd acts, right? You know, like where everywhere you went, there was ruffles around and penises and rods inscribed, and eventually it actually got his judgment. So it's spiritual back then when Pompey got his judgment. That uh, uh, brother back then, right, it inscribed that, you
Mm,
know, on those walls. Now, what is Babylon also called? Like in the scriptures, it's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, man.
that's
All
it.
right. So let's start off with that, bro. And as well, man, if you want to make any points, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
do that, bro. Sure.
Okay. And this is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Just because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, as people are puffed up and proud, when they ain't getting judgment, it's like,
Mm,
yeah, man, I'm good. And Babylon as a nation, you know, the scripture calls Babylon, "O thou most proud." You see, you know, so they're comfortable in just doing all what they do,
mm,
spreading that wine, spreading that evil. And guess what? A very quick side note as well. Donald Trump is not going to save America. There's no saving America, bro. It's done, right? It's, you know, a quick side point, right? Like it's finished. You know, is you finished? You know what I mean? Like you know, people acting like Trump is gonna save America, and then people acting like, oh, if Kamala got in power, it was gonna nothing saving Babylon. It's
yeah,
written
it's done.
to be judged. And if we be real, man, this election campaign was a joke.
Mm,
Like the whole process, just certain characters, you know, being brought on both sides to do speeches, and you know, Trump serving food and McD's, which people say like it's the shame of Babylon is being seen, man. You
Mm-mm-mm.
know that
You,
that's been listed up.
100%. It's crazy when you think people were saying, which it was all BS as Bob was going into. It was all a theatrical show, right? But people were like, with all of these women that are crying about Kamala not winning, it was like, wait there. So you really think that having twerking was
Yeah,
gonna win you the presidency? You really got to think about once again. And this goes to show that Esau really is the devil, because one of the things that they pushed in this election was this idea that she's a so-called black woman, right?
yeah,
And then who's she getting up on stage to represent black women? And
yeah.
then when you think about, you get people on the other side of the world that aren't around Jake. And then they're seeing that the president, a so-called black woman, right, that is what she's using to represent her. What does that say about all so-called black women? Because that basically says, regardless of what socioeconomic background, if you want to use that terminology, you're from, you are a hoe, right? We really think about that kind of the witchcraft that Esau was doing with that. It's amazing.
Mm, yep, that's true. All right, yep. Carry on, bro.
Uh, okay, so we read this. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah,
Right, and then
carry on, Baba Kusha. To
uh,
verse 12.
okay, I got peace afterwards, yeah. It says, verse 12 says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet
Hmm.
surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him.
Yeah, man, and it's like of course, the that same thing applies to Babylon. As a nation, or what I mean. They've been able to go around earth spreading that wine and being pompous, and basically it's like Babylon and Esau, his power structure is untouchable. It seems, not knowing that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? And Babylon the Great is actually is written to be a destroyed, man. And a
Mm,
point that us brothers were speaking about, right, was like, remember, people still speak about Sodom and Gomorrah and those three other cities to this very day.
to this day.
But
Slack it.
the actual population of Earth wasn't near enough as it is now.
Mm,
All right, you know what I mean. The actual population of Earth back then, it wasn't in comparison to what it is now. And the point I wanted to make is what the estimated population is in Babylon is 350 plus million. So let's just exclude those who were taken out of Babylon, those that are of the Lord's elect, right? Bro, that's a good, let's say at least 300 million people just gonna be gone in
I want
1 hour. That's crazy, bro. And the actual size of America. You
mm.
know what? What's it like? What 3,000
Well, America's
by
massive.
by 5,000?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. That sounds about right.
Yeah,
I can look up that in the tab,
yeah,
but it's America's massive, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like from time America's got three time zones.
yeah. It says United States is the fourth largest country in the world by area, with a total area of 3,809,525 square miles. All right. Hold on. Am I reading that right? Hold on. Let me verify that. Well, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
So so so, uh,
Yeah,
so
reading
I
that right.
just
Yeah.
yeah, so just look something up. It says driving from the east coast to the west coast of the United States can take between 4 and 6 days, depending on how many hours you drive each day. If you
Hmm.
plan to drive 8 to 10 hours per day, you will have little time to stop. So basically, that's, I mean, you can do basically the bottom of England to the top of Scotland. Maybe
Mm,
not the top of Scotland, but that's like, it's a long ass day.
yeah,
Right. But that's a long drive. And America is 4 to 6 times that.
yeah. So it says 3,809. It says 3,809,525 square miles. You know what I mean? But it's
Mm,
true. Like going from London to Scotland, what by car is about 7 hours,
mm.
6 hours plus.
And most of that's coming into London. So
To be fair,
yeah.
you know what I mean. So so on the point that we was making was to just think Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, it was obviously five cities. So Sodom, Gomorrah, Zoar, uh,
Admar.
Admar, and Zeboim, right? So those in size, just by actual size of landmass, is not on the level of America, and it's still spoken about to this very day. So how much more when America is destroyed in World War III and becomes like a wasteland? That's gonna be the ultimate eternal like example of like this is what happens, right? When you be pushing wickedness. So let's start off with reading from Revelation 17 and 1 to 5, right?
Yep. And the pericope says doom of Babylon. All right.
The
It
doom
says,
of Babylon. Right?
yeah. So Revelation 17 from the top says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Yeah, yeah, and if you skip down to verse 15, it breaks down what that great whore is. All right, so let's get that.
Oh, yep. Verse
Yeah,
15, it says, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues.
yeah, 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 yep, yep. So it says the waters, right,
Hmm.
is obviously the peoples, nations, and tongues. But I believe if you go to the very last verse, 18, it says what that woman is.
Yep.
All right,
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
and Babylon the Great is just a big city. Is a great city, a great nation that rules over the kings of the earth. And no, obviously we all know that the Rothschilds and elites, you know, are the ones that who have the major power. But in terms of actual nations, of like actual countries, what is the main influential country upon the earth, man? That's most proud and pompous. It's America, man.
Mm,
Right? They actually spread their food, their culture, their way of living. Right? They set the trends of wickedness. Right? Whether it's the LGBT movement and the Stonewall riots. All right?
yep.
Whether it's feminism. All right? Whether it's the style of people, the culture, the internet, social media itself. It
Mm,
all came from Babylon, man.
yeah.
It all started over there. All right, and they pushed their wine throughout all the planet, bro. And that has to be accounted for. And even
Appreciate.
not even speaking about what's been done unto the people of the Most High, where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
about blood being, it defiles the land, man.
yeah.
Gone.
So just to back what you were saying there, it's crazy, bro. It's like this man is guilty on so many accounts, right? Like the largest one is what he done to the children of Israel. But
Mm,
like take that out, and it's like what you read Revelation 11:18 it says just for destroying the earth, you're gonna be destroyed,
mm,
right?
mm.
You know,
That's
as a
it.
brother's, the way that he's, just dealt with everything. It's like he's guilty. But these are the
Mm,
same people that when you bring the charges up against them, they're gonna pretend and make excuses, right? You know, throw up their hands saying, what is it? Weep with tears. Very sort of carefully with tears. It's like all of that sort of stuff. This man's just the devil and he's guilty. But I've got a
mm.
precept. This
Yep.
is Jeremiah 51:7. It says Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand. It says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken over wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Mm-hmm,
Right? So yeah, this, America has basically made all the earth drunken, man. And once again, brothers are from all over the world. And then when we speak about or speak to people from quote unquote back home, right,
mm-hmm.
we can see that those places are getting destroyed by what? By Americanism, right? Which is why you get certain countries that have just straight up said, look, man, you're not bringing your media here. But you know
Mm.
what? That's not enough because ultimately, what? You still got the internet, right? And that
Yeah, yeah,
information just comes through. So people are being indoctrinated, right, into
yeah,
wickedness.
yeah. And after being like indoctrinated, they're like seeing the effects of that on the nation, right? And seeing that, what, man, it's fucked. That's why it's truly a whore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Babylon's a whore that gets passed around, and after everyone has done their thing, you find out, shit, man, I have fucking
Yeah.
HIV, man. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that's basically the mindset of it.
That's it. Not real
You
talk.
know, at, at first like it seemed all cool and nice, but then now we're seeing the effects of that dark
Mm.
way of living spreading.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
right?
100%.
You know what? We're gonna come back to Jeremiah 51,
Okay.
but let's read Revelation. It's
Back in
just,
verse 2, yeah.
yeah, and let's go into the word whore. Hold on one sec. One sec, bro. Go on, bro. Speak.
Okay, come. Revelation 17 and 2. I'm just gonna mute you. Yeah, one sec. Let me know when you're back. Hold on. Yeah, this is Revelation 17 and 2, right? It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunken with the wine of the wrath of
Sorry,
her
man.
philosophy. No worries. So it says, let me read it again. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the
You know what, bro?
inhabitants.
I actually wanted to quickly go into the word whore.
Oh,
If
Salaki,
you don't mind.
Salaki, bro.
No, that's cool.
Right. Where is this? There we go. I couldn't read for a second there. So it says whore. It says G4204. Porne. It says feminine of G4205. It says a strumpet, figuratively an idolater, harlot, whore. It says a woman who sells her body for sexual uses, prostitute or harlot, one who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain.
Mm-hmm.
It says any woman indulging in unlawful sexual intercourse, whether for gain or for lust, metaphor an idolatress, right? Or Babylon, i.e., Rome, the chief seat of idolatry.
And it's funny is how there is caused Babylon Rome,
Hmm.
right? Which the new Rome is
It's America.
like is America, even from the, the infrastructure. Like there's like the Capitol building is built like in the image of Rome, you
Mm,
know. And as brothers and different brothers brought that information of the old name of DC,
hmm.
Maryland, sorry, being Rome, man, that's spiritual, you
Yep.
know. That's like you can't even make that up. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yep. So continue on verse 2. Yep.
Yeah.
So it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, wine and alcohol, if not taken in the right dosages, it really intoxicates you, man.
Mm.
You know, and through the American way of life, you know, bro. Can we type in the term Americanization, please? You know, that's that wine, man. All right. Go
Yep.
ahead, bro. Yeah.
So it's Americanization from Wikipedia. Let me just zoom in so it's easy to read. All right. So it says Americanization or Americanization. It says is the influence of the American culture and economy on other countries outside
And
the United States.
and bro, it's funny, man. What do they call like a person that's caught driving drunk?
Oh, driving under the influence.
Yeah, and that's that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's and here is using um that word, man.
Mm-mm.
The influence. All
Yep.
right. These nations are under the influence of Babylon because of that wine. All right, go ahead.
Yep. Um, so continuing on, it says including their media, cuisine, business, and once again, it's been their media and cuisine. When you look at certain of these nations that have been predominantly quite quote healthy for a
Yeah,
long period of time, they are now starting to have obesity issues since the import of the American diet into their countries.
yeah,
You know.
like them Arab, you know, Ishmael kind of regions, man.
Mm,
Like, like I think if you actually type in the fattest countries on earth by rate, by actual rate in terms of the population and the amount of the population, it's actually them Arabs in that. But by amount, as in the actual amount of them, it's Babylon, of course, because there's
mm.
just way more fat people. But by rate, if in fact, bro, I'm pretty sure. Type it in, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Rate.
It is looking like them. What do you call it? Would you call like them oceanic states?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that as well. I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
But then as
So
well,
American Samoa, now, Cook Islands, Niger, Tonga
yeah,
to French Polynesia, United States, but then underneath it, it's Qatar.
yeah. It actually goes Qatar. But you know what?
Yeah,
They're just doing a focus on the rate, like
yeah,
the rate. So like, say like the country's got like a population of 1,000. If
exactly.
if 999 people are obese, that's like a very big rate income. But
Yeah,
by population of a population of 350 million,
yeah,
like if you got 200 million that's obese, that's way more
yeah.
than the 999. But by rate, it would be less because you know what I mean. You know.
But I think you said it backwards. But yeah, the point is, and that's why you got to be careful with statistics,
Yeah, you have to be.
as the brother was explaining just there, because because Fritz, that's why there was like during the CV, like the highest rate of CV, DEA, THSs were like certain of them very small countries
Mhm.
because there was no one living there in it.
Exactly. But here it's talking about rate. But
Mm,
if we look at the population, the actual amount of them, it's Babylon.
yeah.
You know, and these countries like Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they they that influence comes from where? From Babylon, man. So
Mm-mm.
let's go back. Babu Shah.
Can so it was Revelation 17, right? Yeah. So it says, uh, no, do you want Americanization or do you
Yeah,
want,
yeah,
yeah. So back in Americanization's business, so including their media, cuisine, business practices,
yeah.
pop culture.
Their media, whether it's social media, right? that the whole idea of social media, it started in America, man, and look what it's led to. You
Mm,
know, like wherever that you know what I mean, Facebook, MySpace, all
yeah,
these major, and even that whole social media. If you type it in, is birthed out of America, man. And look, look what is led to. It's just
yeah,
become more easier to spread well, witchcraft to
yeah,
enchant people's minds.
yeah.
You know?
100%. It's a it's a mess, man. As we were saying, especially when you look at the certain of the things that have come from the back of this election, certain of the videos. You're just like, yo, these people have been bugged out, man. For you to be going on camera and then just screaming down at camera, you're just showing the whole world you're bloody unhinged, right?
Mm,
But people have no it's basically pushed this idea of no discretion, right? People just be talking and putting everything up online. It's furthered the idea of scripture says lovers of their own selves,
yep.
right? One of the things I just keep speaking about over the last couple of weeks, right, is basically you had those two influencers from Brazil who didn't want to look bad, right, in pictures. They were told to wear a life jacket, so they both drowned, man.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That was there. That was
Uh,
jokes.
and but once again, that witchcraft, man. Once again, that was pushed out there to one further agendas, but also to just have people become like narcissistic, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's in scriptures though. Men shall be beloved of themselves, which
Yeah.
we could actually read that, but we'll read that in the general T. I have a quick precept. This is Habakkuk 2:15. Woe
Been
to him
thinking
that
about that.
giveth. Yeah, that's right. It says, "Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth that bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look up on their nakedness, man."
Mm,
And again, spreading the democracy, right? Spreading, the LGBTQ lifestyle is as destroying nations, man.
mm.
I mean, this election, yeah, it just showed you that whole people can vote and politics, give their policies and all that shit. It shows you how that splits the people. It actually splits
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
because now you got people all okay. I'm red and I'm blue, and now like after this election, it ain't like people are like, you know what, it's done, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Power now. No, but people are even more upset.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
and
but then if you have a king and a ruler, like this is
that's
it. This
it.
is all you know. This is how it's gonna be. No for vote. You can't vote me out, mate. You know what I mean?
Mm,
If it's and that's what
mm.
the righteous new world order is
Yeah.
gonna be
It's a
when the Pope
righteous
has
author
Israel rule.
can't
You know,
slack it. I'm going to
not
say
God, but
a
yeah,
righteous authoritarianism, man.
that's it.
Because ain't nothing bro was going into, man. Ain't no, but this is it. Once again, it's that witchcraft because you haven't got a choice. It's
That's
an
it.
illusion of choice. If I'm gonna grab this
Yep,
real
that's
quick,
right. It's an illusion
um,
of choice.
yeah, this is Revelation 13:11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Right? Because as of starting from the apostles on down, what was the sentiment that you was getting from the real men of the Lord? Is it didn't matter who got it,
Yep.
right? Yeah, the framing may have slightly changed depending on who it was, but the ultimate goal was the same, and that was a technical enslavement of the people by way of the implantable devices, man. Okay, it didn't matter who it was going to be, right? But they gave you this illusion of choice, and once again, as I've elders Arkin have been going into, right? Is to have people buying in to the witchcraft, to have people putting their energy into the witchcraft, man,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because your vote didn't matter anyway. It's like I always give this example. So when you look at like what do you call it? When you look at what's this thing called, man? Cleaning products, right? A lot of them are made by either Unilever or Procter and Gamble. So then you're in the shop trying to choose between so I'm just having a look. Choose between Ariel and is it Persil? Right? You're trying to choose between the two of them. But they're the same company. It's the same stuff. And that's effectively what these people are doing when they're going out and voting. They're voting for the same company, they're voting for the same corporation, which is why one of the things I always say, it's like they say right wing or left wing of what? The same damn bird, man.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All right. I have a quick, quick one. It says, this is verse 5. You know what I mean? Up in Habakkuk 2, it says, yea, also because he transgressive by wine. And what is transgression? Right? You know, sin is the transgression of the law, man. So, what does America do? Esau as a people, but what's the main tool of spreading evil? Like what one nation can go to other nations and be like, look, man, if you don't push LGBTQ, or if you persecute them, you know,
Mm,
we are going to stop certain kind of trade and shit. And you know
yeah,
what I mean? That's Babylon, man. Like,
yeah.
even what other nation has the capability to go to others in come up in there, man? Look, man,
This is what you're gonna do.
we're happy, yeah, with this, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, it's done by those that are these elites, but the tool in which they use is America, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man, and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. Yeah, you're always encamped like in other lands, man. And
mm.
and and you've got an in
Insatiable.
insatiable kind of appetite, even onto the point now when a person or a country finds new gold or anything, it's it's a meme that
Yep.
America will come with democracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a meme.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because like they know if they find something good, Babylon, America, the main tool of these elites to push, evil, go, come there, man, and come with an excuse. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we find weapons of mass destruction. All
Mm.
right, he gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. That's why, you know what I mean, it's a melting pot of different cultures and just madness, man. Right? Shall not all these take up a parable against him and taunt a proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Right? That's it. That's it. That's it.
Mm.
That's actually the perfect picture. If you don't come to democracy comes to you.
Mm.
And it's birthed out of Babylon.
That's it.
Right?
And it's like what could you say as well? Then you get other variations of this where it's like if it's the Democrats, then the bombs are painted in like rainbow flags,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
represent.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
You know, it's
You
still
know?
the same shit. You know.
Yeah. It says, woe to him that increases that which is not his, and how long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which was that
Mm.
thick clay, man, is abatya, man. That's that debt. I mean, the actual debt clock alone shows you that Babylon's through, man.
Yeah, it's done.
Like, it can't be healed. So as the title says, uh, Ensample, we going to get that in Peters, but let's finish the last. Yeah, come on, that's ridiculous. I mean,
Mm.
some of them numbers are even hard to read out. It's going up.
Exactly.
It's going up by the second, and it's like, bro, is it millions? Is it trillions? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's through,
that's it.
right?
And then then you got the number that which I can't find it, but it's people never talk about the liabilities.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
like insurance policies and
yeah,
retirement
pension.
pensions plans and pension pots.
You know,
Shit,
it's
man.
done. It's
Done.
over, mate.
So before Babylon is destroyed completely, it's spiritually going to be destroyed by the morale of the nation, man.
Mm,
Right? You have people who hooked on fucking drugs, right? On fentanyl. You know, the women of Babylon are just known to be whores.
yep.
You know, like the whole culture. Like, bro, you know, back in the day, when you think of you know what I mean, oh, there back in America, you'd think of strong uh, Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? The strong Uncle Sam. You know, your country needs you, spirit. But now, when you think of you know what I mean, over there, like in America, man, all you think of is just sex,
Yeah.
big burgers, you know, and fucking you know just beer. You know what I mean? Just everything that you could
Folly.
just yeah, just a
Let me
ball of
grab that.
folly, man. It
Yeah.
was just presidential campaign was an example of that.
Yeah.
You know, go
Let
ahead,
me
bro.
grab that real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. Not 10 and 7. 10 and 6, so like, yeah. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Yeah, and what country exalts the most folly upon you know? Actually, can you go into the word of folly? Like,
Silly.
why is Cardi B doing a
Yeah.
speech?
Yeah. Once again, bro, you literally just said it. It's America. There's this over sexualization
Yeah.
that is basically, and that's, but once again, from what you're basically saying, this presidential candidate represents black women and then American women as a whole. And then she's got twerkers on stage, Cardi
Bro,
B, an
Megan,
ex-stripper.
Megan the Stallion.
Yeah,
Um, it's like, bro, it was honestly, it's laughing. It's actually a laughing stock. Like
yeah,
America is laughable, bro.
yeah,
And it's funny, even me, even before you know the Lord put a spirit upon me, you know, us to come in the faith. I've never wanted to go to America because
mm,
I got loads of family there in various states. But even as from a child, I've never really had the burning desire to go
desire, yeah,
to go to Babylon, man. But it's just silly. Like
mm,
it's funny because that's what it's used.
yep,
Silliness.
mm,
You know, like why is a bitch who shakes her ass involved in a presidential race?
exactly.
Why?
You,
Who actually cares what Cardi B even has to say?
yeah, and once again, just showing, once again, that's part of the witchcraft, showing to the world, right, that these are those that represent the Native Americans and Hispanics, right? A bunch of degenerate entertainers, right? And yeah, it's like Jake just listen to entertainers. It's like, no, would you expect that from any other group of people outside of America, man? It was just I mean, even on the other side, what the hell was Hulk Hogan trying to do, trying to rip off a cotton shirt? Like, what is like? See, we
It's silliness. I honestly like, bro. It's like I say this like it's like you. In my life I've never seen. And obviously I'm looking from the outside looking in, but obviously from what we see, America is chaos, bro.
yeah,
Like America is just honestly embarrassing. It's laughable.
yeah,
It's done. Like
it's done. It's finished and it's done.
yeah, that's it. Both. You know. All right. Yep.
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 So yeah. So once again, Ecclesiastes 10 and 6, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Yeah.
Right. So America's looking like a laughing stock to the entire world, and this is it because people are like, oh, why does the whole world care about what America has to say anyway? And then someone
Because you're
base
the great whore.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And as well, someone just put up a map with each American military base superimposed on it, and they were like, "This is why, why,"
Mm,
and that's owing to the precept that the brother just read, right? Saying about how neither keepeth at home, man. When
yeah.
you got let's be real, you may not like someone, in fact, you may hate the mafia don that lives next door to you, but guess what? When he comes around with his strap, hello, sir, how are you, sir? Okay.
Yep. Yep. All right. Let's but sorry, we keep straying from it in the spirit. All right, let's finish them last verses in Revelation, and then I'm gonna get Second Peter, and then I'll go into the information on Pompeii, right?
Yep.
Because the reason why we're bringing up Pompeii is because when Pompeii was judged according to things in history, people then saw that as like a reminder of
Mm,
Sodom and Gomorrah, man, right? Which Sodom, right? The actual word goes back to the Hebrew word Sodom,
Saddam.
which means to burn or burning, man.
Mm,
So if it's named that, that's because guess what? It's because they are gonna get that same judgment, man.
mm.
You know? Yeah. Let's carry on.
Yeah, so it's back in Revelation 17 and 2. It says, "With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of our fornication."
Mhm.
It says, "So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a man sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns."
Which
It
we which
says,
that's what the power structure of
mm,
Esau, man. You know that comes forth to make up the power structure of his empire, which is the
that's it.
nations on the EU, man.
Hmm.
Right? Which is that beast. All right, go ahead.
Yep. It says, "And the woman was
Yeah,
arrayed in."
and it says what a scarlet colored beast, man. You know,
Mm.
which is what red. You know, the power of Esau, man. All right, good.
Yep, it says, "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls,
Mm-hmm,
having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and the
mm-hmm.
filthiness of her fornication."
Yeah, yeah. Because guess what? That golden cup from afar it seems nice. You know,
Mm,
it actually looks nice, but what's in the cup is death, man.
nasty.
Nasty.
Mm.
You know, good.
Yep, it says, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth."
Yeah, and if you go into the word for mystery, right? Let's go into that point when it says, uh, yeah, go on.
So,
Point, yeah, go on.
say again, bro.
No, go on.
Mysterion G3466, derivative of that says to shut the mouth, a secret mystery. Says through the idea of silence imposed by initiation into religious rites, mystery. It says hidden thing, secret mystery, generally mysteries, religious secrets, confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals.
Yeah, and read as well. Point two.
It says a hidden or secret thing not obvious to the understanding.
Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, Babylon is a rat," bro, it's a hidden thing, not obvious to the understanding, but he revealeth his secret unto the
I was getting that.
servant the
Interesting,
prophet.
yeah.
You know.
Yep. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The brother
Yeah.
just quoted.
Yeah, that's why we can explain who Babylon is, and if you read the characteristics of Babylon in Scripture, it's a proud nation. It pushes everyone around.
Mm,
and it pushes forth sin, and it's pompous. It just never believes it's going down. What nation is that?
mm.
And then the scripture speaks about with whom the other nations was made rich. The number one nation that imports the most is America.
Mm.
You know, they have single handedly made other nations rich
Yeah. Real talk,
by
real
just
talk.
importing.
Yep. If you because when you look at like certain of the things that we we buy and use, they were just like cheap Chinese brands. But then over time, because like they were just the best at what they do, now you can imagine them owners are laughing, man. That's
Yeah,
why you've got so like hey, let's be real, let's be real. When you look at like central London, right, and a lot of the new builds, it's just like young Chinese students,
yeah,
some expats. Their daddy's just paying for them to live, to come to the UK to live. They're the ones that are living large, man.
yeah,
But I've got a precept off of the
yeah.
previous precept. This is second Ezra 8:62. It says, these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and
Mm,
said,
that's it. Yep,
you know?
that's right. That's right. And all right, Karen, bro.
Yeah, so
No,
back
no,
with I
sorry.
missed
In the actual verse.
yeah, so yeah, Revelation 17:5 says, and upon
Yeah, and
her
bro,
forehead.
it's funny because it's like it says. I have an article here. It says countries with the most millionaires and billionaires, and the first one is Babylon, and the second one is China.
Mm,
I wonder why.
yep.
You know what I mean? You know, right? Yeah, it says the mother of harlots and abominations. Of the earth, and again, as we spoke about, all these feminist movements, the LGBTQ, just like any deprived, mukbangs, mukbangs. Like, what the hell is that? People just get on a video and eat just a
Mm,
big bowl of shrimp and and Cheetos. That whole culture, where does it come from? The the
yeah.
the scripture says the mother of harlots and, and abominations. You know what I mean, on earth. Mother is somebody that gives birth, right? What nation gives birth to wickedness and just the social like cancer?
Mm,
America. And that's why, as the title of the video says, they're gonna be the ultimate ensample. So I'm
yep.
gonna just quickly read this scripture here in Peter, and then we am going to touch on some points uh, uh, up in this article. Right, this is
Mm,
Second Peter 2:6, right? And it says, um, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live on godly. You know what, bro? Can you read that in the NLT? Because I want to see how it's worded differently. But you know, I found it interesting, bro. Right?
mm,
Sodom, of course, means burning, right? But Gomorrah means submersion. You
mm,
know, so
mm,
Babylon is going to be submerged in burning brimstone, man. Lake.
mm,
It's going to be the lake of fire, man. Sometimes spiritual. Cause when you go into these names in the scriptures, it tells a story. It's
mm.
it's like a shadow of what's about to actually come, man. And spiritually, Babylon is submerged with wickedness.
Yeah.
You know, so whether it's going to be a physical, a physical thing being a lake of fire, or it's a spiritual thing with people being submerged with wickedness. That's spiritual. That those two names
Mm.
they have that meaning, man. You know.
That's that. Yeah, but that's hella deep, man.
Hey, all praises be to Yahweh Shino Shai. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, bro.
Uh, yes. Look, so this is uh Second Peter 2:6 in the NLT. It says, later the Most High condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and turned them into heaps of ashes. He made them an example of what will happen to ungodly people.
Yeah, bro. You
But
can carry on.
the Most High also rescued Lot out of Sodom because he was a righteous man who was sick of the shameful immorality of the
Mm,
wicked people around him.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, and hey, we come in that same spirit, man. You know, we'll be
Yep.
out and about. I was coming from some, I was on the tube, and bro, it was like a bloody freak fest, man. Imagine I'm just on transport getting on, like on one side you got one man, on the other side you got one questionable individual, right? And then it just felt unnever ending. I was like, right, this is like all the freaks come out today,
Well, bro,
right?
remember when we was at the train station a couple of weeks ago and we were just talking in the space of like
Mm,
a 10-minute period, like three Mo Jakes came at different times. Like,
yep,
bro, all these Mo's is popping out.
that's it.
You know?
That's it. Hey man, I was on my walk earlier on, man, and I don't know if you've been seeing it as well, right? But a lot of these alphabet girls are starting younger, man. They're still
Yeah,
in their uniform, holding
yeah.
hands, and I was like, oh damn,
I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that, bro. Like
yeah, man,
she's like 14, fucking holding
exactly.
hands. Like, bitch, you probably had your period for last week. Bitch is already paid. Fuck is that shit about, man? You know what I mean, man?
That's
Period
hilarious,
just came on Monday. She a bitch gay Tuesday.
That's crazy, bro.
Nah, man, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, this place got to go, man. Right? But it goes to show you just when the scripture says a little leaven, leaven of the whole lump, right?
Mm.
Because when we were growing up, right, which wasn't even that long ago, right? What did people used to say? Oh, as long as they're not doing it around me, as long as it doesn't affect me. But look at your children, look at
What
your
what
nieces, your little cousins.
you know what cuts that? Esther, the look at Esther.
Mm.
When Queen Vashti
Yeah,
got
yeah,
called to
yeah,
meet
yeah.
Xerxes,
Yep.
and she didn't come,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what does it say? And so when King Xerxes was trying to figure out what he should do, this is what one of his
Advisors.
advisors said. Right, this is Esther 1:16, and Memucan answered before the king and the princes. Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but
Mm-hmm.
also to the princes and to all people that are in the provinces of King Ahasuerus. And you know what's
Mm-hmm.
interesting? It shows you ancient men and ancient kingdoms. They thought of the long term effects of
Mm-hmm.
certain actions on their nation, right?
Yep.
Although those ancient kingdoms was also wicked.
Wicked.
I mean,
Yep.
this reasoning here makes sense.
Yep.
It says, "For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women." So that's why, again, now when we are cursing out these things on social media, the whole lewd sex acts, and like how on TV it'll be like a trans teacher reading a kid a book. Oh no,
Mm.
he's just reading a book. No, it's not about he's just reading a book because
That's it.
that's that fucking image inspires people. You know how like people when there was kids could be watching Mike Tyson, and now that inspires
Mm.
me to be a boxer, or people
Yeah, yeah,
watching
yeah.
um like a top Michael Jordan or some shit, and like that's what leads you to become a basketballer. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing a trans teacher on the TV screen, he's just teaching a kid.
Yeah. You,
That might inspire them to go and do that
but,
when they're older, man. Which ain't
because
right.
exactly, which because as well, what do all parents teach their children when they go to school? You must respect your teachers, A
Yeah.
child of a young age isn't gonna know the difference between this is a teacher and this is just someone that is just coming into school. Like especially of that impressionable age, they're just seeing adult. I am in school. I have to respect this person. So then you're basically you're training them to basically be accepted because children's supposed to be raised to have respect for elders. But when you're having that kind of individual in the classroom, that's messing up with the child's mind, man.
Mhm.
Right? But this is the thing. Esau knows this. We read Psalm 64, right? It speaks about a diligent search, man. Right? Which is why the characters and that's why what do these liberals like to say? Representation matters, which is true. Which is why they're having the freaks on there, as the brother's going
Exactly.
into. Because then in the mind, it's like oh, okay, this is normal. This is okay. Was that? No, it's not. No, certain things, bro. Remember when we was growing up, bro? Certain things, bro, you get laughed to scorn. You'd get bullied, bro. You
Mhm.
get bullied, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They make bullying great again.
That's
Joking
real.
around.
That's real. That's real. And it says, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say unto the kings, unto all the king's princes which have heard the deed of the queen, thus shall
Mm-hmm.
there arise too much contempt and wrath. All right.
100%.
So so again, if you don't get wickedness in check, all right, it spreads, right? And this is Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. You see? So it
Mm-hmm.
says like if you don't remember when scripture speaks about um uh um what's the word, that ye may put away evil from
Mm-hmm.
among you, is so that it's done publicly to make an example to not do that again. So hey, in spirit, the Lord is going to make a public example of Babylon. All
That's
right,
it.
it's going to make a public example of Babylon, the ultimate example in what happens, man. Right? What's that one? Jude. Was it Jude 1 and 7? The everlasting fire.
Let
What
me grab it.
is it? What is it? Jude or James? I get it mixed up sometimes.
So what is I was looking for something. What would you want me to look for, bro?
Yes, I think it's Jude. Is it Jude 1 and 6, 1 and 7, when it
What?
speaks about uh the everlasting fire, which is it's speaking on Babylon basically. I think it's Jude or James 1.
Uh,
No, I think it's Jude.
uh, if I one sec, I'm just having a
I know
search for it.
it says like an eternal fire or something like that.
Eternal fire. Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
find
Jude,
anything.
yeah, Jude chapter 1 and 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth and for an example of suffering the vengeance of an eternal fire. Which that proves that whole concept of hell is just a myth. Because when it says the vengeance of an eternal fire, if you go to them cities now is burnt out, right?
Mm,
They ain't no fire no more. But it's just like it was burning for a long while.
mm,
And Babylon's is, bro. We just broke down well, we just went into the information of square miles of America. Look how large it is.
mm.
You know, it's large, man. It's large, so it's going to be burning for a very long time. And if
That's
we
it.
and if you go into the um, historical information of what's there of the balls of sulfur in America. That spirit I said balls.
Southern. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but yeah, they're actually balls of brimstone that when it's lit, it actually melts into a blue liquid. and it
Mm.
actually becomes like a pool of molten fire, man. So Babylon with the ICBMs with the Lord's lasers, it's gonna be burning for a long while, bro. You know.
That's it.
All right. So Baba Gashar, let's go into that article on Pompeii, because Pompeii, when it got its judgment with the volcanic ash, right? You know, people saw it at that time as an ensample, of some of the acts that was happening there, and even
Mm.
there's some sculptures or it's actually encased dead people and corpses that was doing lewd sex acts before they died, man. You know, but bro,
Is it, do you want the science one or do you want the
the the, the let's start off with the Christian one, and
Christian
then
one? Yeah.
we'll come back to the science one.
All right. This is from ucg.org.
Yeah,
It says the day the world ended. Lessons from Pompeii, posted on December 2nd, 2005.
yeah,
So Pompeii's ruins tell a stark and heart-rending story. One day, Pompeii was a thriving, lively city. The next, it was a steaming mound of smoldering volcanic ash. Does Pompeii's tragic tale hold lessons for us today?
and guess what? It should, right? It should. Because if you read about the some of the things that's taking place in Pompeii, it's the same again. There was a brother back then when Pompeii got destroyed with the volcanic ash. On one of the walls, it wrote he wrote Sodom and Gomorrah. So they
Mm,
attributed that city's judgment with what happened in the past.
mm,
And Babylon the Great is going to be an ultimate example of that. Go ahead,
that's
bro.
right. Says warning signs had been building for some time. Streams and wells had suddenly dried up,
Mhm.
particularly those near Mount Vesuvius towering nearby.
Now, now,
Um,
now, now it's about to talk about physical signs, right? Of like the temperatures increasing and in that American area and stuff. But why I find that spiritual because there's signs taking place now of
100%,
Babylon,
yeah.
right? Spiritual signs. Like remember the 7 year um remember that e- eclipse, bro? Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it created like a
X,
X
yeah. Yeah,
over
that was
Babylon.
crazy. This
That's
just goes to
spiritual,
show
man.
you, yeah, it's crazy. It shows just how, scripture says, time, Lord will basically make the days shorter because
Hmm.
that was April. And I remember though,
Oh yeah,
we were looking forward to that for some time,
yeah,
and then now that's like, that was basically, it feels like a lifetime ago at this
Mhm.
point, you know?
To be honest, for a split second, I thought that was last year. That was
Yeah,
this year. Go on.
yeah. It says some of the farmers attributed the sudden disappearance of water to the hot late August weather. Yeah, so there's always another reason,
Yeah, you
right?
see. So spiritually, in Pompeii, they wasn't paying attention unto the signs,
Mm,
which is what's happening now, right?
yep. It says they didn't realize that not far beneath the Earth's surface, the water was being vaporized by the steadily rising heat.
Yeah,
It says,
and things in Babylon is heating up spiritually.
mhm.
You know. Yeah.
Yep. It says out in the majestic bay of Naples, the sea had mysteriously begun to boil in some places. The underground heat sending streams of bubbles. You know what this is reminding me of? What's that phrase, man? Cognitive dissonance?
Yeah.
Is it that one where it's like you can see that
Yeah.
there's a problem, but
Yeah.
then you're just blanking it off?
Yeah. Because basically, it goes against your preconceived points and notions.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like if this doesn't align with what I believe. I ain't trying to hear it.
Yeah.
Good.
It says, out in the majestic bay of yeah, out in the majestic bay of Naples, the sea had mysteriously begun to boil in some places the underground heat, sending streams of bubbles gurgling to the surface. Fishermen puzzled at the curious sight and murmured among themselves.
Hmm.
Here and there, even the ground had begun to rumble and quiver. Mount
Yeah.
Vesuvius itself appeared to moan and groan from time to time.
Hmm.
Ominously, many animals, dogs, cats, mice, and rats had begun abandoning the city of Pompeii. Something strange was happening, but
Yeah.
people
So
wondered what it could mean.
yeah. So it's like, and now that mindset is taking place now. Here is the Lord's prophets are all over Babylon and Earth saying, look, uproars of the people, the signs of the times.
Mm,
We're actually explaining, look, this kingdom as you know it is this world as you know is about to change. But
that's it.
people are oh no, man, it happens all the time. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, I've seen this before. You know, so and I'm still here.
Oh man.
And guess what? And knew not until that flood came and took them all away.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, real quick, if I can grab this, this is Second Peter 3 from 3, knowing this first, that they shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. See?
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So back to the article.
Yep.
It
And
says,
yeah, and after you read that last point, skip down to um where it says in in enjoying the good life. But yeah, go on.
yeah, so it says, unknown to them, a deadly monster was stirring,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
enjoying the good life. Right.
Yeah.
So for most, life was good in Pompeii. For many, it was quite luxurious. The
Yep.
great Roman,
And guess what? Babylon, right? Is Revelation 18 speaks about how it's made other nations rich, right?
mm,
This is Revelation 18 and 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, right? Her doctrines, I mean, her philosophies in which it spreads throughout the earth. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth will wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies, man. You know, and if you go into that word for delicacies, right? It says strenuous, strenuousness, strength, luxury, you know, excessive strength, which longs to break forth over strength, and it says eager desire, man. So over there, like in Babylon, it's like you have an excess of of comfortabilities, man.
mm,
You know, because of everything in which they they import.
mm.
All right.
Which is why, man, when hell starts coming up on America, man, yo, it's gonna get messy.
You
Because
know
this
what,
is
bro?
it. What,
I know. After you point, can you read verse 7 and 8, please?
yep. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it just when all hell breaks loose, man, because it's a group of people that I've always had, but they're
Mm-hmm.
also attacked. That's one of the things that has been really exposed by this election is Americans are absolutely insane, right? So you've
Yeah.
got that insanity, and they've got weapons,
Yeah.
right? So you can imagine just how messed up and how to what extent people are gonna go to maintain what level of quote unquote luxuries that they can,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in these lives, whether it's a I'm used to eating 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So guess what? People gonna be like, look, man, I ain't got food, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. The scripture says in Matthews, right? Because basically the love of many is going to wax cold, man.
You know what?
Right?
I have a quick scripture, bro. Yeah,
God.
Isaiah 47:8. Therefore, hear now this that are given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Mm,
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in the moment, in one day, the
mm,
loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantment. So in one day, yeah, because America is the greatest country on the planet Earth. Fuck more in the USA. No, bro. Like in one day, it's gone. They ain't gonna take your silver, no gold. The eyes shall not spare children. Like I see they ain't gonna stop because you have a fat ass.
mm,
No, in one day you're gonna experience that, man. You know, in one day. In fact, if I skip to verse 7, it says, "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady for forever, so that
mm,
thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither thou didst remember the latter end of it." And it's funny, the average everyday day, what I mean, America on social media, anytime war between Russia and Babylon is spoken about, and other nations, even how they speak about it on the comment board, like, look, man, if it gets real, we'll just
Watch,
destroy
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's actually how they actually think. Which
Mm,
there's different types of warfare now, and plus, it's not gonna just be you and Russia fighting,
exactly.
right? It's gonna be you and all these other nations that have nuclear
Mm,
capability.
yeah,
Because the scripture says the people you are in league with
and lead with, yeah.
are gonna fucking nuke you too anyway.
Yeah, all the men of that confederacy,
Yeah.
all ye that bend the bow,
Shoot at her, spare no arrow.
shoot, spare no arrows, man. So it's gonna be, and it's, but once again, like I know exactly what you're talking because I've been ever since Trump got elected, and the different presidents were just doing the usual thing of like, congratulations, because that's what they do. They all do it, right?
Yeah.
But then they'll be talking about like, oh, see how the Houthis have immediately called a ceasefire. See how Xi Jinping has all of a sudden started, sending respect. I was like, bro, he's going to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But just that delusion of grandeur. The elder Ariel just did a show on that the other day, right? America has this delusion of grandeur, right? They think they're more important than they really are, which is why ultimately people don't like you as tourists, man. People hate Americans. It's just this loud, entitled individual that's just gonna, here it is when you go to America, they expect you to follow, this is America, right? You've got to follow the American way. But when they go to other people's countries, they're rude and they're disrespectful, right? They don't want to integrate,
Mm,
you know. So that's why America's not liked. They're tolerated. There's a difference.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's go back to Bubble Shard, the article.
Khan, back in the articles, is enjoying the good life. So it says, for many it was quite luxurious. The great Roman orator Cicero had a villa in Pompeii. Julius Caesar's father-in-law owned one in nearby Herculaneum. It says some villas were so large they took up an entire city block.
So
Those,
those pompous. It's like
bro.
that actually makes me think about the one the scripture says, "O thou
Yep.
Capernaum, exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell."
Hmm.
Because Babylon, for a long time, it was seen as like the streets were literally paved with gold, man.
Yeah.
You know, like you know what I mean. And guess what? They found out. Like now that golden city become dim.
Hmm.
Good.
Yep. It says most villas were built surrounding an open central courtyard, often highlighted by a pool and sometimes a fountain. It says that there wealthy Pompeians could relax on hot summer days surrounded by opulent colonnaded gardens featuring elegant statuary and beautiful mosaic floors. Inside,
it's like like just you reading this at the same time. My like mind is thinking about like sometimes in Babylon, when you see them like LA. Well, not LA. We know there's certain parts of America where
you know,
they got them the mansions by
mansions,
the
yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah.
That's because LA's fruit, isn't it?
Yeah,
LA's
yeah.
fruit, but of course,
But I mean,
there's
yeah,
certain
yeah, yeah.
points where the where the rich live. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
when you were saying that, I was thinking of like Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
in, but
yeah,
even
yeah,
no,
exactly.
before you were saying, I was like, that's like making me think of like Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
And then the one on the wall, like where I forget the area where like Trump lived, it was where Two and a Half Men was set.
yeah,
Let me just find it where it was Two and a Half Men set. I forget the name. Malibu,
yeah,
California. Them kind of areas,
yeah,
Malibu and that.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. That
Yeah,
so
man.
even as you're reading that, but that's what's coming onto my mind. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, which that's the spirit because before you said it, I was thinking it as well.
You see?
You know,
Yep. Carry on,
living
bro.
a good life.
Living my best life. I ain't gonna back and forth with you, niggas. I'm gonna walk that way. Yeah.
um,
Yep.
and so it says that inside many villas were equally richly decorated with colorful frescoes depicting various aspects of daily life, history,
Man,
and
this
mythology
shows you there's nothing new under the sun.
under the sun.
These are the same spirits back, bro. Good.
100%. In fact, I just found something real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just like a yard's like this. Like
Yeah.
they've got
Yeah.
fat ass paintings in the yard. This is a Malibu.
Yeah. Exactly. Come on,
You
man.
got yeah, it ain't marble, but which call it, you got the stonework. Then this stonework ain't cheap. Like good stonework's gonna cost you a shitload of money, man. You got a
Mm,
pool there. Like I said, they've got some fat paintings. They gotta have some statues somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This is how certain individuals be living. This is how certain individuals were living back then.
yep.
So back to the article. Um, it says so it's daily life, history, and mythology and religious belief of Pompeii's citizens. The city's wealth and favorable positions drew visitors from all over the empire. So Pompeii was quite cosmopolitan, showing influences from many regions and religions. Its people could worship at its many temples dedicated to the Roman pantheon, Jupiter, Juno, Mars, Venus, Isis, Minerva, and others. For those whose worship ran to the more mundane level, graffiti inscribed on Pompeii's walls testified that successful gladiators were among the major celebrities of the day. Cela- yeah,
Go, yeah.
Yes, Siladis is the heartthrob of all the girls. Severus, 55 fights, has just won again.
It's just the same, bro. It's the same
It's
shit.
AJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tyson
Yeah.
even, sir.
Yeah. 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 Good.
Oh man, it says the unbeaten Hermiscus was here. It says Crescens, the net fighter, holds the hearts of all the girls. It says other graffiti urge citizens to vote for this or that candidate.
Bro, this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Because Pompeii, was what I mean? It's like, Babylon is Rome coming back.
Mm,
So even on under that, bro, that's deep, man. Like on the inscriptions of the wars on Pompeii, the whole vote for this candidate and vote for that candidate, it was on the walls, man.
mm,
Vote for Kamala Harris. You
yeah,
know, go ahead.
that's it. So it says, It says Pompeii lay secure behind its massive defensive walls, which stood 20 feet thick and more than 30 feet high in some places.
And
The
and and
heart,
and, and, and you remember wars back then in the ancient world, maybe because of the kind of warfare that they actually had. It's like if you have your walls high, it's like yo, you will basically feel invincible.
yeah, yeah, she's safe, man. They have like peace and safety, man.
You know, yeah, that peace and safety. But you know what? Now with Babylon, right? You know, like the actual scripture speaks about in Joel 2.
Hmm.
When the ICBMs are shot, they shall jump over the walls. All right,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Good.
Yep. So it says,
Which now the scripture calls Babylon the land of
unwalled
unwalled
villages.
villages because they're so proud.
Mm.
Like thinking basically, it's like I can't be taken down anyway because they're that comfortable.
What's that kind? Who gonna stop me now?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it says Pompeii lay secure behind its massive defensive walls, which stood 20 feet thick and more than 30 feet high in some places. The hard stone for the walls, also used to pave the city's street, was basalt quarried nearby. Pompeii's builders didn't know it, but the basalt was hardened lava from past volcanic eruptions that had engulfed the area. Says Pompeii was so prosperous that when many of its major buildings suffered considerable damage from an earthquake in AD 62, it refused Rome's offers of assistance. Its citizens preferred to go it alone, confident that they could handle this and any other setback.
So and then read that last paragraph and then go to the next point. Okay, hell on earth. The
Hmm.
point is those people in Pompeii. It was like yeah, there was known for like you know popping and freak off parties. You know, you know what I mean. Like and you know what I mean. Obviously, there was known for being freak offs, but there was also in comfortability. They did not believe
Comfortable.
that they was going down, bro.
Mm.
It's sort of like when Jeremiah was trying to tell Judah, look, man,
Yeah,
you are
yeah,
about to
yeah.
go into captivity. Yeah, man, like, bro,
But
like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah,
back then before the flood, rain. Like, you talking about
yeah,
rain?
we
You
talking about.
know what I mean? But guess what? The scripture says that I'm gonna get a scripture on that, right? This is Proverbs, I believe it's 22, right? It says um Proverbs 18 and 12, it says, before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. And then you got Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before fall, man. You know, and that's Babylon. See, the Lord lets nations get proud and comfortable. And when they just think, yeah, man, I'm good, is when the that sudden destruction comes.
Mm,
You know, just like the Lord lets them inflate themselves high enough where they believe the God King Xerxes, and after he's like, nah, nigga, no, you're going down now.
yeah, just a man.
He's just a
If I
man.
if I could grab that
That's
real quick.
that's Ezekiel. Yep,
Yeah. So Ezekiel 20, I'm just gonna jump straight to the point. It's a
yep.
good read though. It says Ezekiel 28 and 9 it says, will thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God, but thou shalt be a man, and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee.
Mm,
Right? Because when you read this whole chapter, it's going into Esau's pride, right? But the point here is just okay, when you get brought down, right? Or what you're God now, yeah?
mm,
You're not, you're just a man, right? Because the Lord is the one that has given this man the technology, the power that he has. Right? He's been given this position. The Lord, on a set day, at a set time, is going to take it away.
mm. Yep. Good, bro.
Yep. So back in the article, it says, So they failed to recognize the growing danger that 6 miles away, unimaginable pressures were building beneath Vesuvius as it began to awaken from its long sleep.
Mm.
It says in August AD 79, the earthquake activity intensified. Then on August 24th, ironically, the day of Vulcanalia, a festival honoring Vulcan, the Roman god of fire.
When I saw that, I said, "The Lord got a sense of humor, man.
Yeah,
Like, come on, like,
yeah,
you
real
know,
talk.
they got burnt, man, for that ash." Go ahead.
Mm. The world ended for
Woo!
Pompeii.
And when you read next point, I'm gonna get Matthew 24 straight away.
Yep. So it says in August of AD 79, the earthquake activity intensified. Then on August 24th, ironically, the date of Vulcania, festival honoring Vulcan, the Roman god of fire, the world ended for Pompeii. About noon that day, thousands of Pompeians went about their daily activities of farming, fishing, buying, selling, eating, and drinking.
Marriage, you're giving him marriage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
th-
mean, yeah,
they were startled and shaken by a deafening roar.
yep. I have a precept on that. Um, Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now,
That's right.
Babylon in particular, before them nukes are officially shot and it's destroyed, we know that the fires are already going to be kindled, where
Mm,
judgments are going to be happening. But still, like no matter how bad things get, no one is really expecting like for people in the world for a day to actually come where your whole country is just gone.
yeah, I mean, the amount of times would you call when you speak to a so-called intellectual in this world and even mention the prospect of nuclear war, nah, they wouldn't actually ever use it. They're never
That's what they
gonna,
say.
you know.
That's exactly what they say. Well, it's always well, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, what they're not counting on is Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because what does it say in Ezekiel, right? Was it 38? Right, the Lord's going to put an evil thought in their mind, right?
Mm,
Because ultimately, it's the Lord that is in control of this whole story anyway.
yeah.
Okay, so those nukes are going to get fired. America is going to get destroyed,
Mm,
and the Israelites are going to be put in power, whether vocab likes it or not.
yeah.
You know, we coming, man. Through the
Mm,
spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, not of our own will.
mm,
Back in the article, right? So it
yeah.
says the top of towering and vast Mount Vesuvius vanished in a nuclear scale explosion. All right, it says exactly.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, because that's a lot of energy being released in one go.
Yep.
Right? So it says dust, red hot pumice, ash, and flames were blasted more than a dozen miles into the sky. Men, women, and children gasped and screamed as the as bright midday suddenly turned black.
Mm,
Il- mhm.
yep.
This is illuminated only by flashes slugger, of lightning and fiery trails of burning rocks as they crashed to the ground among crashed to the ground among the teeming, terrified people. Right, and that's a horrible because you got just this heat, this hot rock just falling on you. Right, the air then it's going to go into six. There's a blanket of choking, gritty ash, a suffocating snowfall from hell. Right, once
So
again, you got to
so
imagine.
so so that became hell,
Hmm.
right? Can I read a quick scripture, bro? Ecclesiastes 9:12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them.
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's like that. Like in the midst of World War III, the Lord's gonna come back and beam up his elect, and it's that on that day, in that hour,
Hmm.
that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yep.
You know,
Well,
and once again, what I found very interesting about this article is there were all of the cardinal signs. Right,
yes.
you had the volcano there, like you knew what it was about.
Yep.
You knew that it has gone off before, right? You had all the signs that it was gonna go off again,
Yep.
but still people didn't take heed.
And that's what they do. That's how it's happening now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you've got. I mean, it's November, so it's gonna be what Remembrance Sunday this Sunday, right? So
Hmm.
called. What do they always say? Those who don't know history are deemed to repeat it, right? Well, okay, well, tell us about history. Like, look at all of the empires of old, right? In fact, that's the whole premise of this whole lesson, right? We've got an example in the scriptures of what happens when you live an ungodly life,
Hmm.
right? With Sodom and Gomorrah. And America's that modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man, right?
Yeah.
So what does history tell us? History tells us that it's going to be destroyed.
Hmm. That's right. Good.
And the more so the scriptures, Salaki, let me rephrase it. Scriptures tell us it's going to be destroyed.
Yep.
Right. But it says a
And
blanket of
and, and guess what? If you follow the pattern of the scriptures,
hmm
like with when it comes to wickedness, right? Like and the Lord's judgment of wicked kingdoms, it's all a part of a formula.
exactly.
Yo, I'm gonna let you get proud, so I'm gonna destroy you.
hmm
You know what I mean? In the Psalms 92:7, when the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the wicked work, when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they should be destroyed forever. But you know what? I'm gonna start from verse 6. A a a a a a brutish man knoweth not, neither does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as a grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they should be destroyed forever. So if you're in a land, yay, we can finally abort our babies. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
yay, you can shake your ass and have sex with 1,000 men.
yeah. You
Like,
know,
yay, like, all right, yay. And guess what? The spirits of vengeance, the Lord's eyes are just there, like, all right. They're just
hey, Kat,
scribbling
yeah,
down,
real
scribbling
talk,
down.
real talk.
You
Hey,
know?
hey, if I could say, man, which it just goes to show you, this world's funny, man. The scripture says, Isaiah 29:16 about the turning of things upside down, right? Because one of the ways that women are gonna punish men for voting for Trump is by basically abstaining from sex, i.e., not basically behaving the way that they're supposed to behave
Yeah,
anyway. It's just so bugged out.
yeah,
He's so bugged out. Oh, we're not gonna be basically saying we're not gonna have casual sex. It's like, and lots of commentators online have been just like, yeah, that's literally what we've been telling you to do. Stop being hoes. And then therefore you won't need to end up having to go to the fucking clinic to perform that witchcraft and wickedness, man. Because that's what it is. It's witchcraft, right? Because
exactly.
once again, they always like to go, these people like to go to extremes when they bring up anything. When they bring up a man having multiple wives, when they beat up, when they talk about a man, disciplining his woman, when they talk, they always want to go to extremes, right? When they talk about the whole abortion thing, they're extreme, if which either way, that's a life according to the Most High, no matter how it was conceived, right? What is that? Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, life for life, right? In the law, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, and the elder Yeshua has been speaking on this as well, is just, well, that's like such a small minority,
Yep.
right? The extreme they go to is such a small minority. A lot of these women are just using it as birth control.
Hmm. It's beautiful, man. But it's just beautiful how stupid these people are.
Yeah, and they're
because
exposing themselves.
it's crazy. Like they're just so stupid. It's ridiculous. Like bro, like this old Jake that I work with, right? Obviously his family's in America. And he's like, he was like, no, Trump is gonna lose because you can't talk about abortions. Like, if a woman gets raped and blah, I'm like, and like someone's, when someone's off that wine, they're licked, fam.
Mm.
And I was just like,
In fact, let's
basically,
grab that.
for slang for brothers, licked here is an old slang for being drunk. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he's burst, or burst is
Let's just use a yaks out.
yeah,
Yaks. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
So he
universal.
yacked, fam. He's yacked, bro. He was on that wine hard, blood. I was like, yo, this guy really believes in this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
He said,
That's
because
it.
now with Kamala, they can abort. But you got a man, like fighting for abortion, boy. But he's done.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
It it showed that you got demonic ass women and the feminine ass men, man.
Hmm.
Right? Because just once again, the rhetoric around it, and certain other talking points after the fact, it's just like, bruv, like, what's wrong with these people, man? And this isn't just on the left, right? The video of Charleston White as well,
Oh,
right?
that guy's a fucking. He's a joker, man.
He's a joke, but but man's crazy. Man was praying to white Jesus on camera, thanking white Jesus for Trump. But that's crazy, man. But let me grab this Isaiah 29, 9 and 10. So stay yourselves and wonder, cry out and cry. They're drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered.
Hmm. That's right. Yep. Let's keep going a bit into in the article. You know what? Just a quick side note from the second article, right? Because now we're talking about when Pompey got judged, right? Let's quickly go into to the other one, please.
Yeah,
And there's a point where it speaks about if you scroll down, bro, it speaks
sorry if
about
I could just look. Cause,
oh yeah, shit, man.
well, the Most High is terrible, man.
And guess what? The crazy that Babylon is going to be ash.
Mm,
Now skip down to hold on, keep scrolling.
sorry, if you look at that, a fragment of glassy
Yeah,
residue.
exactly. I was about to go there. Go on,
Yeah,
read that.
a fragment of glassy residue found inside one human skull, which may be the remains of the brain.
So it got turned into like a hot liquid. All
Mm,
right. Now, if you scroll down, yeah. There, read from um those two. So that first one and second one.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says so many bloody pop-ups these days, man. It says Pier Paolo Petrone. Um,
Jeez, yes, bro. Hey, was
you
getting
telling
deep.
me? You telling me?
Yeah.
Says a physical and forensic anthropologist at the University of Naples, Federico II, has advocated the vaporization idea, but he says he never meant the term to imply the stripping away of flesh within seconds. A body would need at least 20 minutes of exposure to hot volcanic ash to be reduced to a skeleton, he says, and potentially far longer in cases where people are huddled together as they were in the boathouses. It says in those situations, the effect of the heat may well have been less severe, he says. But Petrone argues that some bodies elsewhere at Herculaneum do show signs of dramatic thermal trauma. Over the years, he has noticed that a few of the remains he has helped excavate at the site have skulls showing star-like patterns of fractures radiating from a central point. He concludes the fractures are evidence that, after death, these skulls exploded
Ah,
in
so
response.
so so the Babylon people's skulls gonna be just busted and pop. Popping that
Oof.
popcorn, bro. Skull's gonna be exploding. Shit, man.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Damn. Says these skulls exploded in response to the heat from the volcanic ash as the brains inside boiled and pressure built up within the skull. Oh man.
Carry on, bro.
Bad. Says inside one such skull, Petrone and his colleagues have now discovered a glassy black substance that contains chemical signatures of enzymes that are expressed in the human brain. He thinks the black substance is the gloopy residue of the person's molten brain solidified into a tough glass
Bro, do you know
after
how
cooling.
crazy that is?
Oh,
Even
bro.
just even hearing it is like, yo,
Yeah, yeah, bro. I'm like, oof. It says this may then have been protected from decay by volcanic ash that entombed the body.
yeah, carry on.
It says I never saw anything like this before in 25 years of excavation and study of this site. It's astonishing, says Petrone, who, with colleagues, describes the black substance today in the New England Journal of Medicine. Says Thompson agrees it's a great find and the analysis seems really thorough.
I mean,
It's
obviously they're speaking about, oh, it's a great find. That's going to be happening on a mass scale of
mm,
America, man. Bro, people's brains in Pompeii turn into molten glass, bro.
that's mad.
You know the levels of heat, like you have to reach, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is actually scary, man.
It's mad because isn't that like one of the in cartoons you'd have someone that will get so angry and they'll basically make it like the old whistle
Yeah, yeah,
teapots,
yeah, 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 yeah,
and then head will go would explode. But that was happening.
yeah,
That's yeah,
bro. Pompeii, people's heads was literally exploding. So what's
man.
gonna happen now, man? With a whole, and that's just volcanic ash, which that's still hot, but that's just
Mm,
ash. So it's all about
exactly.
a lake of fire.
That's it, bro. Can I grab this real quick?
Yeah,
Says Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
mm. Right on the money.
Right.
It's truly fearful, man. That's why after this great judgment and this great salvation, the Lord's name is going to be glorified on another level.
Oh yeah.
You know, go ahead, bro.
So Thompson agrees it's a great find and the analysis seems really thorough. It's possible that the two studies are compatible, he says his analysis focused on a group of individuals huddled together in a stone boathouse.
So, even just thinking about that, why was they all kind of huddled up, man?
Mm,
Because they was in their last moments of fear. No, man, no, what's going on, man? Come on, let's. And then it was just too late.
mm.
It was too late. Go ahead.
Yep. It says where Petrone's individual was buried alone, apparently as they lay on a wooden bed in a building in Herculaneum that was built from
Yeah,
volcanic rock
you know what? Yeah,
bricks.
calm, bro. That's the point there. But I think we've already hit the point there in that kind of article. So let's go back to the other one and let's finish it off and bring out some last precepts. You know,
Yep.
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
So there's a blanket of choking gritty ash and suffocating snowfall from hell. Once again, gotta remind people this is gonna be hot. Like you ever been in a sauna and you breathe
Yeah,
in that hot heat and you're
yeah.
like, oh, you feel it. So now imagine that's a supercharged heat. So you can't,
Supercharged liquid molten heat.
yeah. So that's gonna be just burning your lungs on the inside and your
Yeah,
esophagus, everything,
yeah.
right? Says quickly began to cover the city. Panic. Pompeians hurried to find family members and flee, seeking safety outside the city. Says others, terrified by the rain of burning ash and pumice,
Hey,
hurried
no,
inside.
it's interesting, man. It's a quote our apostle said, man. Fire is inspirational. You know what I mean? Like Like, when someone's on fire, man, like, the Twin Towers, man, people chose to jump out.
mm,
Which ain't saying staying in would have made it any better, but it was that hot that you
mm,
like, you know what? I'd rather just die quickly, exploding on the floor, than be feeling this, this hot heat.
yeah.
Or people actually trying to scale down the building
Mm,
because of that fire, you know?
yep.
And the scripture speaks about spirits of vengeance.
Mm,
Fire, was made as a scourge for amendment, man. All right, go ahead.
yep. So it says, others terrified by the rain of burning ash and pumice hurried inside, bolting doors and shutters behind them. Eventually, dusk fell, though few in the doomed city would have recognized the difference. By that time, several feet of ash covered everything. A few stragglers lit torches and struggled through the ash, hoping to find safety at the port or via the roads leading out of the city if they could find them. It says, as
So,
night
so when they
came,
start saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction come
mhm,
upon them. Now, of course, we all know that mainly deals with the time of trouble, or them, where like the whole world, as is going to change. But just even like in the midst of World War III, the real sudden end of America is going to be with the nuclear missiles and the lasers of the Lord, man. That's
mm,
crazy, bro. Right?
yep. So it says, eventually dusk fell, though few in the Doom City would also read that Slaki. It says, as night came, roofs began to creak and collapse from the weight of the ash. Some realizing they would suffocate or be buried alive by the growing ashfall, clambered out second floor windows, gasping for breath in the ash choked air. Others, in their desperation, chopped holes out of the roofs and walls of their houses to escape. A few remained behind, seeking shelter wherever they could. Right,
So
right.
again, like they're in that last moments trying to find like. So you remember how
Anything.
we always make that joke, man, of the flood. Those banging on the ark, and remember
Oh,
the Lord shut the ark. You know, because guess what? It was getting too deep for them. I got a quick one.
mhm,
Uh, and it says Luke 17 and 28. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
mm,
You know, you know what I mean? It's like that's how it's gonna be, man. You know, because remember, Sodom and where Lot was actually beautiful. Remember when they split? You know when Abraham went and got his portion
mm, mm,
and
mm.
Lot got his portion. Like the scripture speaks about how that land was actually where Lot went was beautiful, man. You know how it was well watered and what I mean it was nice.
Yep.
But guess what? Now if we look at it now, it's just a heap of action, man. In fact, I'm gonna find that scripture. This is Genesis 13 and 10. All right, um, King James version. All right, it says, and Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld the plain of Jordan, that it was very well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Noah. So Lot, like before it was destroyed, it was beautiful. And Babylon, bro, as evil as Babylon is, there are some parts of Babylon from a visual standpoint that is beautiful.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You
Hundred
know,
percent.
like it's beautiful. Like there's some parts of Babylon you see pictures like, man, that's amazing. Like some of the natural landscapes. That's why, and that adds to why people can never see it going down.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? It, it is going to go down. Yeah, Kaya?
Um, yep. So the is in Genesis or
Yeah. No, no, sorry.
article.
Back in the article.
Yeah, it says at one residence, a dog chained in the yard
Sorry,
climbed
bro.
high.
Can you zoom out? Because I'm on my screen. It looks super zoomed in. You know, I'm
Or
not
zoom
sure.
in, you mean?
No, zoom out, Bubble Shaw. All right.
Zoom out.
Yeah. Hold on.
Smaller?
Hold on. I'm just seeing. I'm seeing
Do
how
you
it
want
looks.
the text bigger or smaller?
Oh, no, that's cool. It's cool. It's cool because on my phone on the live it looks like super zoomed in, like literally to the word. But it's fine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I can see on the stream it's fine. So that's what that matters.
Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
So it
No, but
says, as night came, roofs began to creak and collapse from the weight of the ash. No, I read that. It says, at one residence, a dog chained in the yard climbed higher and higher as the level of ash continued to rise. Finally, as his chain ran out and he could climb no higher, the dog suffocated as the ash covered his nose and mouth. By now, the city contained only the dead and those who would die. So
yeah,
throughout the night, the rain of ash continued
yeah,
to
kind.
fall.
It's really made the point there where it just speaks on how more and more people died and what was going on. But let's skip to the point where it speaks about Sodom, the lessons of Sodom.
The lessons of
And,
Sodom. What?
and, and here's the point where I was talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
One citizen of ancient Pompeii got one lesson, right? The man
yeah.
who scribbled Sodom and Gomorrah on one of the city's buried walls. Says his simple three-word judgment says more about the city than many books that have been written about it. Says
Mm-hmm.
a modern visitor to Pompeii doesn't have to look very hard to see evidence of the moral climate of the city, right? Up to several dozen buildings have been identified as likely houses of prostitution. Some, due to explicit wall paintings and graffiti found in them, leave no doubt as to their purpose. It says even in private homes, wall paintings or mosaics depict all kinds of sexual activity, and many common household objects such as lamps, dishes, vases, and fountains have been found with sexual motifs. Right, recent excavations at one of Pompeii's public baths indicate that one floor of the structure may have been a brothel.
Mm.
All right. Says oversized representation of sex organs can be found built into the walls, facing and which to be fair, when you look at certain things like when you're walking around, you got what you call them is it not bollards per se, but them things on the streets. I think you could call it like bollards, and certain of them are just like shaped like rods. Just keep it real. You get certain of them that are just shaped right straight like rods, man. Right?
Mm.
It says built into the walls facing some streets, and in at least one
You know
case,
what, bro?
curved.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You know on the paragraph that says final blows.
Hmm.
There's go to where it says one person, likely a Jew or Christian. If you scroll down, it says
Yeah, I got it.
yeah,
Says one person, likely a Jew or Christian, couldn't escape the parallel with the biblical story. Tunneling in the ruins, he scribbled Sodom and Gomorrah on a wall.
yeah. So whether it was just an Israelite or even a brother back then, seeing
Hmm.
the judgment of Pompeii had to write that, man. You know, so yeah, man, that was the point. But yeah, yeah. If there's any more on that last bit you was reading it even in private rooms or whatever it says.
No, okay, so I'll
Oh,
read
actually,
this, right?
it's spiritual, bro. Read that whole last point, that whole last section.
Yeah, I was gonna read yeah from the Bible tells us
Yeah, yeah, that's deep. Yeah,
yeah that sex perversion was rampant in the ancient cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, says which the Most High destroyed by fire. Right, says their depravity was so great that they became a byword for sin, right, and God's judgment. Yet
yeah.
today, which
Which is
God,
spiritual. What? Yep.
yep. It says, yet today, many of our cities are no different from Sodom and Pompeii. Seldom mentioned in news coverage was the fact that the devastating 2004 tsunami wiped out the portion of the Thai coast infamous for its wow. Says,
Yeah.
or that New Orleans was devastated by Hurricane Katrina 5 days before 100,000 Mo's were to be welcomed into the city for its appropriately named Southern Decadence Festival,
Bro, the power of the
which
Lord, man. So
that's
even
crazy.
you can't make that up, man. You can't make that up, man. You
That's
know. So
crazy.
hey, I mean, is there a point that you want to make on that, bro?
I
Spiritual.
mean, yeah, no, that's deep. That's deep because I mean, you get certain places where they're just known like that. You go there to freak off, man. You know, and which because I mentioned Thailand there, and it's just another thing. There are certain things. This world is so sick that there are certain things that people just accept, right? People just accept that if someone wants to freak off of young ones, or go to like East Asia or something like that, right? But even this word here, decadence, is a word that's commonly misused, right? Because it's a word that is kind of used to be like I mean used to mean like opulence, but decadence, as you see here, is a moral or cultural decline as characterized by excessive indulgence in pleasure or luxury. So people use it in a good sense. Oh, it was a very decadent event or whatever. But no, decadence is actually a bad thing. It's representing decay, right?
Mm.
So you can rename this Southern Decay Festival, you
Yeah,
know?
basically, exactly. That's spiritual. I have a quick last closing out scriptures. This is Isaiah 13:19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, right? The beauty of the Chaldees, ex- excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never, and again, as you mentioned before, the word Sodom goes back to the Hebrew word Saddam, which means burning, right? And the word Gomorrah goes back to the Hebrew word Marah, which means submersion. And that's
Mm-hmm,
spiritual because Babylon is going to be literally submerged in fire. All right.
mm-hmm,
It's going to be a lake of fire. And it's like now they are essentially submerged in wickedness, man.
mm-hmm,
So it's twofold in that context. All right. It shall never be inhabited. All right. Neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the uh, islands shall cry in the desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her, which is funny because it calls it the judgment of the great whore, which is a woman, which shows you that the Old Testament, like in the New, are on the same team,
mm-hmm.
right?
Fallen on
And
the
her,
side.
that's right. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. All
Mm,
right. So that's it. It's gonna get the same judgment, right? This is Isaiah 34:9. It's talking about Babylon, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch. All right, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day, and the smoke thereof shall go up forever. It's going to be a long time. From
mm,
generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. And which is powerful because, you know, Babylon, they spent 500 years building it up. They established it on building wickedness. They
mm,
established it on just evil. But guess what? In 1 hour, right? The scripture says it. In 1 hour,
Will be destroyed.
so great riches is gonna become come onto naught. You
That's
know.
it.
So that's actually what I'm gonna end with. This is
Mm.
Revelation, unless you have a scripture, bro. This is Revelation 18:10, and I'm gonna read verse 10 and verse 17 and 19 as well. Standing afar off for the fear of atonement, saying, "Alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is that judgment come." And if you skip to verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all company in ships, sailors, and as much trade off by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of a burning, because they ain't gonna be crying that Babylon's destruction because America, man, I ain't gonna
Mm.
have the burgers no more. No, they're gonna be like, bro, my bag is gone.
Well, you know what it's like. Imagine working a dead end job, you hate it, but then everyone gets let go. You gonna feel away. You hated the job anyway, but it was paying your bills. You could be like, oh shit, where am I gonna get my paycheck from? Right?
Yep,
That's what America is. It's just that paycheck.
yep, yep. And it says, let's go back. It says, Burn is saying, "What city is like unto this great city?" And they cast dust on their heads, which that's a symbolism of mourning, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships by sea in reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate.
Mm,
Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, because we, Lord, with us, the hopeful elect, gonna be praising the Lord. All praises be to how about Shemel Shai, right? For the Most High have avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a millstone, took up a stone like a great millstone, cast it into the sea, saying, "Thus will violent shall the great city of Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all," man. You
that's
know,
right.
so it's this as the scripture says, the vision is certain and the judgment is true, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
So it's only a matter of time. So hey, bro, I mean, have you got any last points in which you want to make? I took the water as well into and I believe a brother posted the scripture on the comment board,
Can't
you
remember
know,
that.
as well, man. Um, yeah, bro, have you got any last words?
Well, no, yeah, yeah, man, this place gotta go, man. The folly around, the election and stuff just showed you just how far gone that place is.
Mm,
It's time. Right, because it is just which I, as a figure of speech, it's just like how much worse can this place get? And the thing is, then Esau comes and says, "Watch this," and you're like, "Oh man, that's how much worse." Right, but the longer this man's in power, just the worse and more degraded and more depraved it's gonna get, man. So that's why the scripture says, here we have no continuous city, but we seek one to come.
mm, that's it. That's it, man. So with that, we hope and pray it was an edifying video. With that, we're gonna say all praises be to Yahweh
How
Ba'Shem,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem
Hashem
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
Double honor to the apostles